else will take its place. If I quit, however, it will last forever.
Welcome back to the Evolution Podcast. This is episode 2. We have here with me my first guest of the show, and I don't think I could have picked anyone better than my guy, my boy, and I'll let him introduce himself.
How y'all doing? He said boy, that's a common mistake. It's my brother right here. Blood cousins though, but yeah, my name is Alexis Rodan, but you pronounce it Alexis, but it's all good. But I go by Alex, and if you know me or close to me, then I go by Chapu.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever called you Alex day in my life. I always call you Chapu. It's weird when people call you Alex.
It's even weirder when they call me Alexis.
Oh, tell us about the story from what, AT&T?
Oh my God, from Verizon. So basically I went up, I ordered a Wi-Fi box, and when I went in there, I told him out here to pick up a Wi-Fi box, and he was like, okay, what's the name? And I said, Alexis Rodan. And he said, okay, I'll come back with it. Give me 1 sec. I waited, he came back, and he said, I got your Wi-Fi box right here, but you could just do me a favor and just go grab Alexis for me. I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, if you could just go grab her for me. I was kind of just stood there looking at him with like a smile on my face. But yeah.
So did you have to show him your ID or something?
I did. Yeah. I mean, I didn't think about it till you told me about that, why he asked for that, but maybe he did. I don't know.
That's funny. Yeah, man, but I definitely wanted you to get on here because you're like, out of all the people I know, you're like one of the most debatable, controversial. Like you can debate about any and everything, bro. Like it's crazy.
I do like to debate.
Yeah, and for the most part, they're all good conversations. They're good, healthy debates. But there are some times where it gets a little crazy.
None of them, but yeah.
And we actually have a rule that we don't talk about religion to each other, which we broke a couple days ago.
Oh, we did make that rule?
Yeah, we made that a rule at Adrian's house.
USA.
Yeah, so we got no, you're good. We get real deep when it comes to religion. I believe we're both Pentecostal Christians.
Nah. Not me. I mean, I don't really believe in anything that deep, but that's what I grew up off. So
got you. Yeah, we grew up in the church together. I write poetry. If you ever heard my poem about basically my church hurt or my testimony, yeah, that's the church me and him went to.
Good old days.
The good old days. But yeah, and we touched a lot of subjects the other day on Instagram Live. And yeah, I mean, I feel like that one kind of took a turn for not the best also.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, I mean, that's your opinion, I
You're
respect it, but
Yeah.
not me. That's how debates are. If you're getting into like the crooks and nannies of, something that's deep and some, what I'm saying, that you're trying to portray to somebody else, then they're hard conversations sometimes.
Right. That's true. But that's not going to be the topic today.
Sure.
Maybe one day. Maybe we'll have a religious debate, me and you, one day.
Roast session.
Roast session. That'll be dope. Hey, I was at my pastor the other day. We was over here doing freestyles, bro. I'm like, we definitely got to do some freestyles.
I know we did.
Yeah, like it's crazy. We used to freestyle all the time.
For anybody to go crazy.
Super crazy. I got 2 extra mics too. So today we're gonna talk about a couple deep things, kind of more family oriented and more so towards being a stepchild or having a stepfather, basically. But before we get into that, how was your week, bro? What you do this week?
A couple of things, It's crazy that we're on a podcast and we actually asking each other how our week went, but we need to do it more. And by we, I mean me first. But it's just I work a job, so 9 to 5, but I start at 6:30. So my life ain't, what I'm saying, it's pretty much a normal little routine, but not really crazy anything today or like this week. Just chill with my daughter as much as I can. So with people I love as much as I can.
Yeah, I see you spend a lot of time at your mom's house, bro. I love it, bro. Like, I know me, I'm too busy to go hang out with my mama, but every time I hit you up, you're like, "I don't know if it's the food or
Oh, it's
what."
definitely the food. Nah, definitely that's definitely a part of it.
That's awesome though that you no matter what, you find time to go hang out with them and spend time with them.
I try to.
But, yeah, I mean, and my week's been pretty good too, a little stressful. Oh, but I do wanna say that even though we had that, like, dubbing back to that Instagram Live, the good thing that came out of there is that you're going to church Sunday, you and Chris.
I think we have to make a rule that if I'm drunk, I can't legally consent to nothing. I wasn't drunk, so I remember.
I'm dead, but hey, all that matters is that we're gonna get you in church, whether you like it or not. We about to chill,
For
listen
sure.
to some word.
I love Christian songs too. I mean, I just love music, period. But you know, growing up, me and you going to church,
Yeah.
Christian songs, or just like gospel, whatever, any type of like good music is just something I like to listen to.
Don't say less. I'm gonna put you on to some good stuff.
You already do.
Alright, so kinda moving towards the topic, break down to me what you remember of your dad, your actual dad,
My actual father,
biological.
I don't remember anything. Me, honestly, I don't know if my sister might, but I don't remember anything. He died from an overdose when I was 2 years old. So, I mean, I don't. Some people they could be like, "Oh, I remember when I was one," and
Right.
I'm not that. I'm not that person.
I've
I don't think
always I've always thought about that, bro, like, how do you remember
I
that?
don't remember anything. I don't think like past before like 9 or something. Like it's bad, but yeah, no, I don't remember anything about him. I just like stories that my mom's told me, which most of them were bad. They were all bad, but but as I got older, started talking to like people that I didn't even know would be around him, like my uncles, my aunts, and stuff like that. It's just crazy because they would tell me like they knew him and stuff, and then like tell me about him or say that I look like him or something like that. So,
Have you ever seen him?
who?
Your biological dad?
No.
You never seen, like, pictures of it?
Oh yeah, yeah. I've seen pictures. I've seen plenty of pictures for sure. But I'm saying when they're telling me, oh my, what I'm saying, they're saying like the way I'm acting, my mannerism, whatever. They're like, you remind me of him. Like that's
Oh,
crazy.
got you. Yeah, that is wild. And then, so the person that you grew up with and remember the most as your father then is Carlos.
Carlos Gonzalez. Yep.
Tell me how that is. Like, just growing up.
Man,
Like, well, let me ask you this. Did you ho when did you know that he wasn't, like, your real father?
like I said, I don't remember anything from before 9,
So, like, you
but
just always knew that that wasn't your real father?
I think I want to say probably when I was like, I would be lying now at this point or contradicting myself. But I want to say now that I do the math, probably around like 5 or 6. I do remember like I think my mom told us. I would have to ask her to fact check it, but I don't know 100%. But I do remember like specifically us like crying like, "That's not my dad. Where's my dad?" or something like that. Me and my sister, and then I think she told us, but I think she also told me that she tried to like hold it back for as long as she could. So 3 years, I guess 4 years.
Got you. So, after, like, knowing that, how was the relationship with you and Carlos?
Really bad,
Really bad.
really bad. No, man, I do remember. It's just crazy because you like you remember how you felt when you were younger, but then you get older and you're just like, that's not. You know what I'm saying? Like you know that was you and that's how you felt, but you just don't. You could look at those things and just know that's not you no more. But yeah, I hated him all the way to like probably like 16.
16.
Yeah, like I used to pray, like I used to make little plans. You know how you make goals and envision your life. I used to be like, oh my God, all I have to do is somehow he leaves and then I'm done with him
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah, I remember one time when we were younger, I don't know, that you actually got in an argument with your mom, and you came and, like, ran away and came to our house for a couple days.
oh yeah, that's one of the plenty.
Yeah, I remember that. That was, like it was, like, a bad circumstance, but we used to love having you over our house, so we were, like,
Right.
happy, like, "Oh, you're about to live with us, bro?" But but we were still sad 'cause, like, yeah, you just got in a fight with your mom, so but, yeah, I mean, that was, like I was like, I really thought you were gonna live with us, so I was like so happy, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
No, as I got older, it was crazy because that like when I was younger, like I was like he was the enforcer for the most part, but as I got older, it was more like he would just tell my mom how he feels or whatever, and then she would be the one doing all the damage for the most part. So,
oh
that shit hurts.
yeah. Yeah. So how is your relationship with him now?
I think we're good. I mean, I love him, you know what I'm saying? Like, I try to look past anybody that I love, or I guess that's more like a preordained love. I really don't know. The people that I do love, once you get on that like upper echelon of love with me, I try to see past all the bad things or like, everybody has bad things about him, and I know I do.
Right.
So I love him no matter what. We could be mad at each other right now, and I would still say I love him. So that's just me though. But we're good though. We don't talk probably as much as I would like to. We're good.
Right. Do you feel like not having your biological father and knowing how he died and growing up with this man who is not your biological father, do you think that had any like trauma that is like applying to your adulthood now?
It's one of those questions because I really don't know. I don't know what it's like to have my real dad. So I don't know what I would have did differently or if I would have came out the same. I can go on about plenty of possibilities, but I would say that it does take an effect. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe more rebellious, but at the same time, all kids are like that. Like, oh, I want to get candy, so I'm gonna start saying things I don't like, and I'm gonna start blaming this and blaming that. I don't like to see it like that. So just
Right.
deal with the reality that I had.
I feel that. Now I will say, or I will ask, and it's gonna get a little deep here,
It's all
a little
good.
more deeper. So your biological father, he died off
Heroin
heroin. Oh,
overdose,
I didn't know
supposedly,
that. So obviously he had an addictive personality. Do you think that translated into you?
for sure.
Do you think he's the reason? Like, you know,
No, I just don't. I mean, maybe at first, but once you become a man, I think that you take responsibility for everything. You know what I'm saying? At a certain point, like I can understand if I could even elaborate to you right now that I think that I got my addictive personality from him, then that means I'm smart enough to not have an addictive personality. You
right,
see what I'm saying? So maybe it did translate, but it didn't only translate from him. My mom smoked. Everybody around me and my family smoked. They drank. They all did weed. My friends did. You know what I'm saying? I could
right,
blame
yeah.
a million people if I wanted to, but no.
Not me personally, I will say that, yeah, that is true. Like you being able to recognize that you have that addictive personality and that it may stem from him is like a big step in the right direction.
Sure.
However, I will say just because you're grown or you're a man, it doesn't it doesn't mean that it's not still coming from him, you know? I know
For sure.
I carry a lot of traumas and stuff from my father with that I'm still dealing with today, and I know that they're from him,
Right. That
you know?
I mean,
And
that's what I'm saying. You know, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Because I
right,
didn't know him, so I don't
right,
don't know what I got from him. I might not even have known he had an addictive personality till I got older.
right.
So,
Well, yeah, but I mean,
but I know what you're saying.
yeah, because there are, like, studies or whatever that say, like, things like that are carried through, like, the
For sure.
bloodline and stuff,
For sure.
and it's, it's up to us to really break that chain and to break those generational curses.
For
Uh,
sure.
but no, I am 100% happy that you are recognized, like, you recognize that and you're taking responsibility of that and that you're no, you've been doing great, bro, like, with the
Don't lie now.
no, like
For sure, bro.
right. I mean, bro, I remember you used to drink a lot, bro.
I still do. I'm
You
not
don't
gonna lie
drink
to
that
y'all.
much. You don't drink that much, and you are definitely way more responsible when you drink now.
Yeah,
You
no.
know,
I mean, that
it's not it's progress, not perfect. You know,
came through a lot of bad things, to get to that level, to understand that certain things ain't worth it, to understand how I am when I am drinking or doing I really don't like drugs, and I mean that came from drugs that made me not like drugs. But I guess if you count alcohol as a drug, I do like it. So,
Right. I mean, we all live
but
life
I'm
and we learn.
definitely battling with it for sure.
Yeah,
Everybody's battling with something. Everybody copes with something.
literally. Like, yeah.
Some people are better than others, at it or finding there are healthier ways to cope with stress or trauma or life, whatever you're going through. There's better ways. Some people can have 10 healthy ways and maybe nothing bad, but we all cope
Yeah.
however we know.
Yeah. And I always say an important coping mechanism or just a good thing to have around you is good people who understand what you're going through and will not add to it,
For sure.
are not motivated.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
but yeah, and yeah, so we got off topic just a little
But
bit, but it was a healthy off topic. There may be healing in that for somebody. But with your dad, is there any like standout moments with Carlos?
yeah,
Like any good ones?
I should have made a list. I mean, it's crazy, man. I swear, because it's like for me, when you're in a relationship, I don't feel like the relationship ever truly gets unlocked until two people go through some hard times, through some bad things. So it's like, unfortunately, through those bad things, those are probably the things that stand out the most and that I remember the most, that probably affected me the most. But it's through being able to love them after those bad things that I'm like, I know I love you. So I'm not going to necessarily say we've had great times and a lot of them, but for me, it's like every time I'm around you, it's a great time for me. Because if I love you, I enjoy being around you.
All right.
So
It's deep.
yeah, but I mean, we definitely have times. We play pool. We just played pool last Sunday. He freaking beat me again. He's actually pretty good. So yeah, we do little things,
Yeah.
talk about cars or wash the cars or something like that.
Yeah, I think once we all became like adults and like actual like men and living our own lives, you and including like me and my brother, because bro, growing up, we didn't like Carlos either, bro.
Agreed.
Every time we would stay the night, he wouldn't want us there.
For sure.
He would not want us there. He would kind of make us feel a little weird.
Alienated.
Yeah,
No, I felt it. I know.
and that's just how it is. And at first we didn't think much of it, but as we got older, we kind of understood it a little more.
He is naturally just that type of person.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm
He's
saying? So
not a bad person. He's not a bad person at all. But that's some people are just like that.
for sure.
And that's okay. He just, who knows what kind of trauma he had growing up, who knows what kind of things he went
Me,
through.
a lot.
Right. I mean,
Nah,
he actually he told me some of his testimony also.
you guys used to work together.
Yeah.
Just to let them know.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. Like,
Yeah.
as we got older, we actually got a job. I ended up working with him, and that's where I really got to know him.
Right.
We talked a lot. I'm like, wow, man, this dude is actually really cool. He's funny as heck.
Yeah.
The dude was funny, man.
He'll give a freak.
Yeah, the dude was funny. He was hilarious. He, kind hearted. He just doesn't take no bull crap. He don't take nothing, and he likes things the way he likes them. And you gotta respect it.
No,
He could have went about things a little better when we were younger, but
for
hey,
sure.
who are we to hold grudges or not forgive those who's done things to us, you know?
True.
So as we got older and I worked with him and my brother worked with him, we grew a relationship with him and hey, he used to come over my apartment. We used to kick it with
Yeah.
Eric, with Anthony. And yeah, we used to all just be chilling. I grew a relationship with him, and even to this day, he's a cool guy. So I feel like that's, even though you didn't grow with your biological father, like, and he definitely put you through some stuff. Carlos put you through some stuff.
For
You
sure.
know, you could look at it like, okay, I could have went through this with him, or I could have went through it with my biological father.
For sure.
Who knows? It could have been
been
a
worse.
lot
Yeah, it could've
worse.
been worse.
Especially with the things he was going through. Who knows? Not to get hung up on the past or anything, but that I just always tell people to be thankful
Yeah, I mean, I just think all men, period, you know what I'm saying, are capable, not to be sexist or anything like that, but I just think men are capable of really being like super bad. And there are women that are super bad too, but I'm just saying it's more natural for us to just want to start putting hands on each other at the age of 5. You know what I'm saying? We're a little more we go more towards like violence and being destructive and breaking shit. So as you get older, if you don't have no guidance, if you don't go to school, have discipline or a healthy father figure in your life, then most likely you're gonna lash out, turn to drugs, you know what I'm saying, stay in the streets, and you're gonna be a bad person. But that doesn't mean, what I'm saying, every bad person has somebody that love them. They have a family for the
Right.
most part.
Right.
So unfortunately, those people that love him, they're gonna have to deal with him. So he's gonna be a part of some family. All right. So
Yep. Yeah, and that's true, and it's crazy. I feel like our generation, our generation growing up, we never really had that good of a father figure.
um,
I think the person that had probably the most loving father figure might be Adrian.
For sure, and that was another thing. Like for me, like what you said with my dad, I worked with EB when I became of age, and we became like best friends. You know what I'm saying? And he was a father figure for me, as an adult, like more towards like somebody, how he is with his kids, or just funny, just caring. Always want to make sure he's having a good time with people. Never want to be, aggressive. Always want to be like chill. So
And
there, yeah,
just so they know, EB is
eh,
our
our cousin.
cousin Adrian's father.
So
A lot of people know him as Hades, but yeah.
yeah, so that was another thing. I went through the same thing.
My father figure experience was all over. It's like I would have a good father figure during income tax time. My dad would be the best when my mom had money. Boom. And I'm like, "Oh, wow, that's how you love a woman." But, as soon as she stopped providing or,
Doing what he wants or
yeah,
something.
doing what he wants, he turns into the kind of like a monster, And now I'm like conflicted as a kid, like, okay, so am I supposed to treat her like this or like that,
For sure.
Because even though he's putting her through all of this, she's still going, hanging on to him no matter what. So is that the way you're supposed to love? So, the way I thought love was very messed up, and it stemmed from my childhood and it stemmed from my father figure. And, that's why, I always tell you guys, I mean, I don't know if I ever told you, I don't even know if I ever told you this, but like I would trade my father, not my father, but I would trade my childhood image of a father for yours or Adrian's any day,
For sure. No, look, man, his dad, your dad, I didn't see like the worst sides of him that you might have saw. So for like from what I saw, he was just somebody I did not want to mess with. Like I don't know how he instilled it in me, but when man, when he say go to that corner, he walk into that corner, best believe. I don't know where I got it from, but maybe because I didn't see those, I don't know. But when he
That
talked,
was bro, that was just him. Like he had authority, bro. It
that's a good
steamed
thing
off.
though.
I mean,
But it just you can't use it the wrong way.
right,
You can't
right,
abuse
right.
it.
Yeah. And I can see those characteristics in me a little, not the bad way, but
Right, in the
the
good
way I can speak to someone and they kind of listen to
for
what I
sure.
gotta say. I'm like, wow, why are you listening to what I gotta say? So you saying that it kind of just popped something
Oh,
in my
right.
head, like, yo, like, wow, that's kind of where that comes from, I guess.
Hey,
But yeah, like I've heard stories of my father growing up too, bro, and they're all usually the same. Like, yo, he was a bad man, low
yeah,
key. I was like,
he
what? My
yeah,
did
good
do that?
looking, all types of. I've heard some things. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, I lived them. I lived some things, I'll get deeper, way deeper into that testimony about my father and stuff in another
I know,
podcast.
yes,
But this one isn't about me or my father.
for sure.
But I definitely, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if my mom would have got with another man, I wonder how my child would be different.
Man, it's hard
You
because
know,
it's not just the stepdad thing, but it's also eventually they're gonna want their own kid.
right?
And so I went through that too. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? I
yeah,
went through
that's another good thing.
a sibling that I love with all my heart. You know what I'm saying? and that's my little one. So yeah, there's when you have it's so hard. And as a kid, we always used to fight. She used to scratch the hell out of me. I used to want to beat her ass and never did. But
You're talking about your younger sister,
yeah,
who was Carlos's biological
right.
daughter.
Yep.
His first?
Yeah,
His
not his first, but his first with my mom.
with okay.
Yeah, because he had two. He had Eric and
Right.
Anthony,
Okay.
other two. So those are my brothers, but they're my stepbrothers. But yeah, they're
So
older than me though.
so tell me like the experience when he had Madi, which is your younger his biological father or
Man.
daughter.
So it was just unfair, and I don't know. And now that we're talking about it, I could see why. Big characteristic for me is I get really mad when I see like injustice or unfair things. It could be whatever, unfair criticism.
That's
It could be
facts.
unfair anything. I try to pride myself on being as fair as I can. So I know I would be a good stepdad, but I don't want to be. I don't want to be a stepdad, but I feel like I could really because I've been through it. You know what I'm saying? So I know I'm just that type of person that could try to feel what other people feel. And so I think I'm understanding. Some people might not think I'm understanding, but I think I am. So
Right.
no, it was hard, bruh. Trust me. It was waking up, me and my sister asking what we gonna eat, and grab
Your
some.
older sister.
Yeah, my older sister, which is my full blooded one. And then it would be like we go to the kitchen. Oh, just grab what. Talking to my mom, grab whatever that's there, make it work. Okay, so we make it work. Whatever, cornflakes from the food bank. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Throw
Right.
some sugar on that, John.
Right.
Helly sugar. But and then my little sister would just, 5, 6 years old, just stride through the freaking hallway to the kitchen, and she just knows about a little secret compartment that just has whatever it is she wanted to eat. So, we already ate, so we're just looking like, and if we touch it, we get in trouble.
Mm.
Things like that.
Yeah. No, and yeah,
Hurts.
this is why, sometimes you have to it's kind of like therapy, sometimes you really have to sit there and talk about things that you went through because as adults, when we talk about it, you kind of click things together like, okay, so dang, maybe that's why I act like this, or maybe that's why I act like that.
Definitely.
That's why I always tell I advocate therapy to you and Brandon, my brother Brandon. Because I think you said Adrian does it, or
I
he
think
started
so.
getting into it. But yeah, bro, like literally talking about your childhood because I mean we have it in our minds and we think about it here and there, but hearing it out loud and
It's
speaking to someone about it.
like problem solving. When you have two minds on it, it's easier to make connections or easier to be
Mhm.
like, oh,
Right.
so
Just like what you just said about my dad, like that authority, I'm like, and you
right.
listen no matter what. I'm like, wait, I'm kind of the same way,
That's why you started this podcast, right? So we can make those connections, so we
Yeah,
can,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
people could figure themselves out, or you can
Hmm.
figure yourself out through them,
And
just
now,
to grow.
not only that, being what is it, honest, open, and transparent, hot.
For sure.
And that being able to help other people not only understand the guest, so people might understand you a little more after hearing this, but, what we're saying can also affect other people,
And help them.
going through there might be someone listening to this who went through the same thing you went through, and he's, like, starting to connect dots in his mind now,
Yeah.
So that's, like, one of the biggest goals for my podcast, which yeah,
Yep.
thanks for bringing that up.
Like I said, I pride myself on, the injustice thing or trying to be fair and being understanding, but there might be people out there that have stepdads, you know what I'm saying? And they're not as understanding as me. So like I said, I hated them till I was 16. You know what I'm saying? So if we just take that before I had my own mind of my own to be able to break down things, and I'm going to let you know, like, what got me to the point of being able to understand a little bit more what life is and how life is was him literally from my perspective of feeling, he slapped fire out my mouth at like 15, 14, like slapped me, bruh, I called the cop. That's how hard he freaking slapped me.
Yeah.
So it was at that point, and he went into the shower or whatever, and the cops came, and then they're like, my mom, you know what I'm saying? That was the first time in my life that I ever looked at my mom a different type of way, and I felt heartbroken. I'm not gonna lie, like I felt like I lost respect at that time. Maybe I did. I don't feel that no more. But yeah, it was hard because the cops came in. They're like, "Oh, you're being bad," and she just made up a whole story. He hit me for no reason. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what anybody say. So once they told me, "Oh, mom, next time he's acting up, you could bash his face right into the wall," that shit just clicked for me. Like, there's no hope. You know what I'm saying? I had
Yeah.
to make it work.
You gotta get your act together.
And again, I got to do something because
Right.
there ain't no help out here. When they say, "Oh, call the cops," watch what they gonna tell
They
you.
gonna encourage encourage you to beat you up.
No, but at the same time, I would never want him to go to jail for nothing dumb like that anyway. For me being disrespectful or whatever, just not listening.
All right.
So
And if your parents do listen to this, I love you, Titi and
they know I
Yo.
love them.
But no, I mean this is important for us, even though it some parts may not be what they want to hear, or parts might be a little more personal,
Yeah, these are
but
the facts
yeah, they're the
from my
facts,
perspective. You know, what I'm saying?
yeah,
From our
and
perspective.
which is validated,
Yeah,
everyone's feelings are validated. No one should feel invalid or like they shouldn't say what they don't want to say. I'm not gonna tell you I'm not gonna like force you to say something you don't want to say.
for
There
sure.
are obviously things that you are holding back, I would say, and that's 100% okay because your testimony can definitely help healing with someone else. So,
I
um,
like that. I definitely want to help.
yeah. I mean, getting into church and stuff. One of the biggest things I heard, and it kind of stuck with me, was like your testimony is not for you. What you go through is for you to express it to other people
Hmm.
and to help them get through what they're going through. So your testimony is not for you. That's like,
For sure.
wow, that's crazy.
It's like when you burn your hand, you know what I'm saying, and then you try to teach that to your kid. Everything we do in life is to be taught to the next one, so that we could just always keep getting better.
Right. So, and that's like one of the things where it's like, yeah, I went through a lot with my dad, and even though I say I would have traded my childhood father figure for you guys', I can't put past the fact that without that childhood, I wouldn't be who or where I am today.
For
So
sure.
that's like the only thing, Who knows what would have happened if my mom got with another man?
Yeah.
Who I don't know where I would be right now. And I'm not saying that in a good way or
Or
a
a
bad
bad
way,
way.
because I could be a lot worse, I could be a lot better. But where I am now, with my relationship with God and everything, I'm good.
Sure.
I'm
Because you
good.
took it upon yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. That's the part of being a man is you just understanding all your problems, gathering up and say we're gonna solve each one. No matter how we gotta solve it, we're gonna solve it, whether it's therapy, whether it's forgiveness, whether it's understanding, tough conversations, whatever it is, you handle it because you don't want it to bother you no more. You don't want it to affect you for sure no more. So
Yes, sir. All right, man. Awesome. I think we're going on a little over 30 minutes now.
I don't even feel like
Right.
no, yeah, it feel
Yeah,
like it.
you start talking about some deep stuff, time goes by. No, I'm happy. My first episode was only like 18, 19 minutes or something like that. Maybe even shorter. But it was only me talking, so I
Right.
expected that. But man, I just want to say thank you, bro, for coming on here. I know it was a little deep, a little personal, but if I like just to throw it out here, I kind of wanted my one friend Xavier to be the first host. And I talked to him, and after talking to him, I was kind of second guessing it. And
Shout out to you.
I called Kapu and I was talking to him. He was a little upset that I didn't consider him first.
First.
But after speaking to him, I felt way more comfortable and confident. And I'm like, you know what? No, I need that. I need that energy for the first podcast, bro. For the first guest.
I appreciate being the first one. For real.
Yeah, I mean, you can have strong opinions. So my thinking at first was let me soften it up for him.
For sure.
But I also forget how you say you can be understanding. So, you came out here, bro, you can cuss. Listen, who can cuss?
No, I mean that's if I'm like getting a little more into it, a little more passionate.
Right.
This is
So,
more just
but even like you holding back without me, I told you in the beginning, I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
you don't have to hold back. Just don't go crazy. But you don't have to hold back. You say whatever you want. Even hearing you barely say anything provocative or, like
Vulgar.
that, vulgar, I appreciate that, and yeah, we're definitely going to have you back on here. We're going to get deeper into a couple other things. We might have,
we'll take some notes next time, and I'll do the whole shebang. We just freeballed it at this point, so
I mean, we had the topic, which is what I wanted to hit on, and we hit on it. So I find this is a success. I want to thank you guys for listening. Next week, the guest is a surprise. So
Ooh.
keep all lookout on my Instagram for that. And yeah, anything you want to say?
Follow me on Instagram at Mila Poppy with 3 A's. We go live, me and my one friend, and Evander too. So we go live. It's a little more uncut. You know what I'm saying? Not we're trying to keep it respectful here. So you know what I'm saying. And I be drinking on that one. So that one's for the people that maybe want to have those weird conversations. It could go and we could talk about heroes. We could talk about boogers, whatever. So yeah.
All right. Yeah, just thank you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed day or a blessed night whenever you're listening to this. Starting next week, I'm going to finish the episodes off with a scripture from the Bible, but I didn't have one set for today.
Say
So
the one that's in your heart.
I only know one by heart. So we're going to say that.
You gotta say it.
And I don't even remember. You put me on the spot, so I forgot it. But hey, God is good. God will always be there for you if you need him.
Sure.
Therapists are great, and I recommend therapists, but the greatest therapist we can have is God. And I will say that till I die. Thank you guys. I hope you guys have a great day, and peace out.
Is there?